guys. So I just did a live segment on Good Day Oregon, and I wanted to kind of follow up because, you know, with live TV, sometimes you aren't always able to do everything that you wanted to do, and we missed a couple of ways to tie a scarf this morning, so I wanted to follow up with that. So I've got a couple of scarves here that I wanted to show you. I'm going to start off with an example that I did show on the segment that I just want to do again because it's slightly complicated, but it's a really fun and interesting way to tie a scarf. So first make yourself a keyhole here, right? Two ends, hold them in one hand, hold the other in the other hand. All right, then around the back of your neck, then we've got two ends. One end is going to go under and through the keyhole and out. The other one is going to go over and through the keyhole. And then you can just kind of pull and tie it tighter, make it a little bit more loose if you need a little bit more neck showing. So if you have a shorter neck, you want to make sure that you show as much neck into the décolleté to elongate your neck. If you have a really long neck, you can really decorate that neck by pulling it in tight and doing something like that. So it's a really fun and interesting, chic way of tying a knot and making it a little bit more interesting than the regular, traditional way of tying it. And I love a pop of color right next to the face. Just make sure that it's a color that complements you. So that's one way of doing a scarf. The other is, finding these square scarves, but that have a little bit of decorative detail on the end. This one has some tassels on it. I'm going to fold this in half to make a triangle. You really want to, when there is a decorative part of a scarf, you want to really highlight it. The reason being is it's decoration, and so it's something that's supposed to be highlighted and not necessarily hidden or ignored. So we want to make sure that we're showing this off. So these tassels are going to be part of the design of the scarf. So again, we're going to straddle the neck from the front to the back. And again, if you need more length in the décolleté and the neck, pull this down a little bit further. You can drape this over one shoulder, over the other shoulder, and you can see all the decorative part of the scarf is showing. You can show your neck a little bit. If you have a longer neck, you can pull this up real tight, bring this around, and even tie it in the front. Right? Something like that is beautiful. You can play with it a little bit, pull it over to the side, wear it dead center. There's all kinds of different ways of wearing a scarf and making it interesting and making it you and original. So I say get in front of a mirror with the scarf, play with it, and have some fun. It's all about having fun. And it's a great bow on the package, as I said. The other idea that I had was taking two scarves and wrapping them together, twisting them, wrapping them together. You can even take 3 smaller scarves that aren't really thick and braid them, and then wrap them around. Well, let's do it this way. Let's straddle it again. So from the front to the back, wrap around, and then I'm going to take this side, I'm going to wrap it in and out, and I'm going to wrap this side in and out. And then pull these together. And it gives it a little bit of color and a little bit of texture, and you kind of play with it until it looks right. Sometimes you don't want it to look like it's a noose around your neck. But play with some texture, play with some color, have some fun, and try different things. There's, the traditional way of just draping a scarf over your shoulders. This is a great pop of color, a rectangle scarf. Just draping it over your shoulders is fine. You can take one end shorter on one side, longer on the other, wrap it around. If you've got a long neck, you can pull that tight. You can knot it to the side, you can knot it to the center. You can just leave it straight. You can take a scarf like this, drape it real loose, crisscross it in the back. Okay, just so it stays. And a lot of these gauzy scarves will kind of stick on each other, so it won't let loose, and do something like that. You can take a long gold necklace and wear it down the center. You can decorate with jewelry. Just make sure that the jewelry doesn't compete with the scarf. But lots of great ways of wearing that scarf. Now, you see a lot of these scarves out there right now, and they're kind of big and thick and wide, and they can be great as wraps, and they can also be great around the neck. Just the only thing that I say buyer beware, is make sure that it's not so big that it's drowning you or swallowing you up whole. Because if it's too much of a scarf for you, then it's not going to look right. So let's drape this again, straddle the neck. We're going to bring this side forward, then this side forward. You can tuck it underneath this part right here, okay, so it doesn't compete. You can bring this in a little tighter and tie this. This is a little bit more of a European look. Okay, how cute is that? Just, you see how big and wide this is? Just make sure that it's not so big and full of girth that it kind of swallows up your head. So those are some ways of wearing scarves and tying them, and I wanted to just give you guys a couple more options. So wearing a scarf is a great way of putting the bow on the package, and all I've got to say is choose stylishly.